It's blueberry season, and that means it's blueberry muffins. Now, years ago, I was happy. I was making the silver palette blueberry muffins that were a cornmeal muffin with blueberries, and they were pretty doggone good. But then one summer up in New Hampshire, when the grants were really tiny, we had just this overabundance of wild blueberries. And so I started playing around and I discovered the Cook's Illustrated blueberry muffins. It starts off with a really good blueberry muffin. Then they ramp it up by really doing something fun, and that is they make a really simple blueberry jam. Just before you pop it in the oven, you put a dollop of blueberry jam on top and swirl it around. Then you put a sugar and lemon garnish on top. So you get the crunch of the sugar, the pop of the lemon, and just that wham of the extra blueberries. They're pretty fabulous. I hope you all enjoy them. So let's start cooking. Okay, so we're going to start off with the blueberry jam. And this is so incredibly easy, it's no big deal. So we'll start off with a cup of blueberries and a quick teaspoon of sugar. That's it. From time to time, we're going to come in and squish these blueberries. So basically, we're going to let them release their juice and reduce down. It says to about 1/4 of a cup. I probably am not going to go quite that low, but we're going to cook them down, smush them up, and get some really good preserves going. You can see we're bubbling nicely, and we're looking pretty jammy here. So we'll give it a few more minutes here. So we're going to pop that in a bowl to help it cool off, because we certainly don't want to put hot preserves in the middle of our muffins. We'll let that cool and get back to making the rest of the muffins now. The other non-muffin bit that we need to do is we need to get the sanding sugar ready for the top of the muffins. I am using sanding sugar, sparkling sugar, simply because I have it. If you don't have it, that is perfectly fine. Regular sugar works beautifully. So I'm just going to zest 1 lemon. As I know you know, we don't want to get the pith, the white stuff in. Just want the yellow. So we're going to hit it with a microplane, and then we're just going to mix the sugar and the lemon zest and set that aside to sprinkle on the top when we're just about ready to go into the oven. Now we're ready to really start putting these muffins together, and the nice thing about these, they just take a moment. They're really fast to get together. So, as I've told you before, I really do believe in weighing ingredients in order to really get the recipe right. It's so much easier. So I'm going to put my bowl on my scale and zero it out, and I'm looking for 12.5 ounces of flour, which they say is about 2.5 cups. 11/7, so just a smidge more. 12 exactly. Baking powder, we need 2.5 teaspoons. And that here. And then a teaspoon of table salt. And that part's done. So we'll give that just a little stir. Get it quick incorporated there. We need 8 ounces of sugar, so I've zeroed out my scale. Okay, and we need two eggs, and then we're gonna just whisk the eggs and the sugar together until they're nice and thick and that beautiful light yellow. And basically what we want is we want that sugar to absolutely dissolve into the eggs and have this wonderful big yellow syrupy goo. So we're going to get this so it's just that lovely light lemon color. and get that sugar nicely dissolved. When that's that beautiful light yellow, we're gonna slowly add in, I have 4 tablespoons of melted butter, and then I'm going to do 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. So those both go into your egg and sugar mixture. And I'm just using avocado oil because it's a lovely, light, neutral oil. So we'll get a quick 1/4 cup and whisk that on in. We have a cup of buttermilk, and in case of emergency, if I don't have buttermilk, I always keep buttermilk powder in the refrigerator, which is the coolest stuff in the world. You can also do it by adding some vinegar to milk, but I just like having the buttermilk powder. I think it's pretty cool. So we're going to add that, and then we're going to put in 1.5 teaspoons, which is also 1/2 tablespoon, which makes it easier, of vanilla, and I'm going to use vanilla paste just because I like vanilla paste. I think it's cool stuff. So, and the vanilla, if you happen to put in too much, gee, that's too bad. It's always better. We've got a nice base going here. So we've got our flour mixture that's just combined, and we're gonna fold in our eggs and sugar and oil and all that goodness. This is one of those batters you do not want to overdo. So it's gonna be lumpy, and lumpy is a good thing. So this is probably plus another cup of blueberries. Recipe says 2 cups. You know, it's one of the, it doesn't matter. It can be 2 cups or more, just lots of good blueberries. But you can see we're fairly chunky here, and I'm kind of happy with that. So I've put liners in my tin. I just think it's a whale of a lot easier than spraying it and praying. And also, they're kind of cute, so we'll do that. This is about a 1/3 cup measure. I think it's probably a little bigger than what I want. Now the recipe says it fills 12 muffins, which it does almost perfectly, and it says to mound them up, come to the top. So it's not something that's gonna rise a whole lot. So I'm gonna take maybe 1/2 of just a little teaspoon and pop that in the middle. As you can see, we've got some kind of nice looking little preserves here. Just gonna pop those on top of everybody, and then I've got a skewer that I'm gonna use, and we're just gonna distribute it a little bit. They say to do a figure 8. I'm not that good, but I'll get it in there one way or the other. And you'll find when you do this, you will invariably run into blueberries, which is a very good thing to find in blueberry muffins. Distribute it a little bit and get it down in there so that that blueberry flavor will be absolutely everywhere. Now we're on to our lemon and sanding sugar. I do like the sanding sugar because it's just, first of all, it's just kind of fun, and it adds a nice crunch. I may resort to fingers here. Actually, I will resort to fingers. They just work a little better. And that lemon zest is just going to add a really nice little brightness to these. And they're going to end up being some rather special blueberry muffins. And these are going to a friend of mine at the office because her father just happens to really like some of the little stuff I've been baking in. So it's kind of fun to send it over to her dad. So these are now going to pop into a 375 oven for, I'm going to say about 17, 18 minutes. And so we'll pop it in and we'll be back at Muffins shortly. So the muffins are out. They took a little longer than the 17 to 19 minutes, so keep an eye on it. A toothpick in the middle coming out clean tells you the story's done, and they're pretty wonderful. So I hope you all try them. I hope you love them. And let's get together and do it again soon. Thanks so much. Hope you all have a good day. Bye-bye.